We work with the rodenticide industry, we work with PCOs who use rodenticides, so it's important that we're here, A, to promote our products, but also B, to try and pass on some information about stewardship and the importance of stewardship for those people who use our products on a regular basis. One of the main issues and main concerns that we have at this moment in time with the rodenticides is that there is something called secondary poisoning. So that's when the actual poison, the rodenticide itself, is reaching animal species that it's not supposed to be getting into. And there's two ways that can be happening. One is that the actual animal eats the rodenticide, but what we're finding more common is that the animals are actually eating dead rodents, dead animals, and that's how they're picking up something called secondary poisoning. So that means that there's an environmental risk, there's an environmental concern, because rodenticides, all varieties of rodenticides, are entering the food chain, so to speak. So they get into these non-target species, and the next step for those non-target species is they end up in things like foxes and raptors, birds of prey. So you have very low levels of rodenticide present in a lot of non-target species throughout the countryside, throughout the UK, and that's the concern. It's what will those rodenticides do over a period of time, and how can we stop this happening? How can we bring that level of rodenticide down in these non-target species? The industry has to come together, because the health and safety executive in the UK have the power to remove these products if they wish. So if they were to remove this product, the whole pest control industry and the farming industry would have a real problem, a real concern, and a real issue about controlling these rodent species that carry disease. They cause damage, they cause fires. So it would be a massive issue for the pest industry. So the industry has to stand up to the plate and understand that if they want to carry on using these products, then they've got to meet these requirements put in place by the HSE to control these non-target contamination. CRRU have been heavily involved because they've been seen as the competent, safe pair of hands by the health and safety executive. And what's happened, there are certain timeframes been put in place about when the product labels of the rodenticides that people use on a regular basis will change, and that will have a statement about stewardship on it. And that statement will mean that only people and only professional pest controllers and farmers who have a certified qualification or have undergone a certified course will be able to purchase that product. So from April onwards, if you're buying a product with the new stewardship label on it, then you're going to have to show that you've got an approved level of knowledge, understanding, competency certificate, whatever is required, and the actual list of required competence can be found on the CRRU website. Bayer itself is a member of CRRU, so all the manufacturers and distributors who are involved in the pest industry sit within the CRRU organisation. So we've been involved from the very start, because we're keen to make sure that our products are promoted correctly, and from a stewardship point of view, we want to see that our products are applied by pest controllers. So we've nothing to fear from stewardship as a manufacturer, and I don't think our distributors have either. We're very, very keen to know that these products are being used and applied in a sensible way. So obviously we'll be working with our distributors, but we're also working with the farming community, so we're making sure that with the support of the different organisations that we work with, that we're getting information into the different communities, different areas where our products are used on a regular basis, so we can start to educate and give information.
The campaign for responsible rodenticide use is a really, really big change for our industry, and farmers are a key part in the CRRU process. This is all down to self-policing. It's so important that we all look after the industry that provides the bread and butter on the table at home. We've got to look after this ourselves. Nobody else is going to do this for us. And there are many ways and means that we can self-police, which can involve whistleblowing, which can involve education, and so on and so forth. But we've got to look after it ourselves.
We've been in the industry about 35 years. We've been an active member of CRRU since it was started. So we are a director company that funds CRRU, along with the other 16 contributory companies. We wanted to do our bit as part of the industry to educate the market and obviously defend rodenticides, because we know they're a very important part of the tools that the pest controller has to work within the environment. Pest control is developed over time, and it needs to continue to develop its practices. And CRRU has put together a code of best practice, and I think it's vitally important that all stakeholders work to that to make sure that responsible rodenticide use is in place. There's a lot of pressure on pesticides. They're often perhaps given bad press, but they do serve a vital role in the environment, particularly for public health. There's lots of diseases associated with rats, They contaminate food, they cause fires. At the moment, rodenticides are really one of the main tools that we've got to protect the environment, protect public health. So it's a product that we really must keep hold of, but of course we have to apply it and use it responsibly. Like ourselves, Bayer have been very much part of CRRU, a CRRU supporter, and to have somebody as such a strong name and brand in CRRU is very, very important to give it that sort of kudos. It needs all the big players around to support such an important initiative. So, as a distributor of Bayer product, it follows that we'll sign all the relevant supplier declarations and work to the stewardship that they want us to do, which is also, I suppose, overseen by the CRRU initiative.
One of the things we do is we actually administer the prompt register for professional pest controllers. I think BASIS prompt is absolutely crucial for professional pest controllers. They may have qualified and got their level 2 qualification several years ago, but how do they show the legislators, how do they show the government, the health and safety executive that they're current and up to date? And the way they do that is through continuing professional development, collecting their CPD points and being a member of BASIS prompt. It's a recognised way that we can talk to the health and safety executive and show that the industry is professional and is engaged with CPD. But Bayer are very supportive. They've been a supporter of our marketing campaign for a number of years, and we couldn't do it without companies like Bayer being engaged with us. So we're really pleased with the actual relationship we have with Bayer.
Under the stewardship regime which has been set up at the moment for the responsible use of rodenticides in the UK, we have split the tasks in delivering stewardship into several sections. My section that I'm chairman of is relating to point of sale activities and the delivery of checks on the proof of competence at the point of sale. Stewardship is essential for the long-term safe use of rodenticides in the UK. That's clear. It's not something that is going to be delivered by one person, it's going to be delivered by all people. Everyone has a responsibility and a role to play in delivery of stewardship, and so everybody has to take part and commit to delivery. Bayer are firmly committed to stewardship and to supporting CRRU UK. They're an essential partner as a key manufacturer of rodenticides and which are being used widely throughout the UK, both in the professional pest control sector and in the agricultural sector. And their support has been pivotal amongst other companies to the delivery of the aims of stewardship to the UK.